Hello again, frog lovers. So we got another two here. These two today. In this second wave of Frog Planet figures, you'll see here there's a lot of foam because there's only just a frog here. So I'm just going to get these out. I just want to show you how they come packaged. So they are rigid. Oh, see? There it is. It's broken. It's a rigid plastic. I really wish these things were made out of like a PVC so they could be durable. I'm going to have to come back after I glue that. So even with all that foam, because it shifted around inside of that opening, it broke. Now, all the foam in the world won't protect something if the thing moves. So hopefully the people that make this might catch this video and realize they gotta put some extra foam in after to keep it from shifting around. This one has like an egg and a backpack of eggs. And now let's hope this isn't broken. Now this one actually has like some bubble wrap. Interesting. Yeah, those feet are very, very thin. So very delicate with these things. So Breviceps adspersus is known as the common rain frog or the bush-filled rain frog. I've spoken about this before because it's one of the more common cartooned toy frogs because it looks really cute in real life. It's just like a golf ball with legs. And so yeah, you can see, you know, that's as good as I could glue that leg back, but there's literally a chunk of that plastic came out as well right there. So rigid plastic, it's a horrible idea. I wish there was a, yeah, you might want to stick to like Bandai products, which are actually molded in like PVC, and they're toys, they're durable. This one also is missing paint here, so it's unfortunate. They have a bunch of lines to help the hand painting process to try to separate it. The body is pretty matte finish. You can see the reflection is very cloudy, but here on the eye, it's a very sharp reflection because it's so glossy. And it even has a little dot for a reflection, but there's no white paint there, so that's missing. That's on other frogs from this series. So, okay, some other white dots, a pretty flat bottom, tiny little legs sticking out the back, kind of crudely molded because it's hand cast. Yeah, and maybe that was a parting line and they sanded it or something like that. It's very heavy for what it is. These frogs can grow up to 60 millimeters in length in the real life, so this is around 60 millimeters. So this is basically a fully grown female rendition. So I guess that's nice, right? And I guess that's all I care to talk about it there. The little nostrils, maybe. Talk about that. The mouth is closed. I don't think there's much else to talk about, but you can see the hand painting is pretty good on this one. Not so bad. Just really sad about that. These things are expensive, so. Alright, so the family of Hemiphractidae is the overall family, but within them there's a genus called Hemiphractus, and that's what I think this is because it's got these crazy backwards looking triangular shapes. So these are commonly known as horned tree frogs, and they're native to South America, the Amazon, and the northern Andes even as well. They are carnivores. They will eat other. They believe they're specializing in eating other frogs, but they've also been seen eating other things, mice, geckos in captivity, and then large insects, lizards, and snails even out in the wild. So they'll pretty much eat anything, it seems. They also will bite people. So, but the key thing about this whole Hemiphractidae group of frogs is they lay their eggs and they carry them on their back, as you can see in this image here. And so those are eggs in like some sort of gelatinous material, and when they hatch, they're not tadpoles, they're just miniature frogs, they're little froglings. So it's quite interesting, you know, carrying your kids on your back, your kids to be. Alright, that's all I can really get from Wikipedia. So let's look into this thing now. Knowing it's very fragile, so I'm going to hold it close to this silicone mat. Those legs are just very fragile looking. Yeah, very thin. Yeah, very rigid, thin. But luckily this one's intact. And there's a lot of molding remnants. This little spike and stuff, because it was probably pulled out of like a silicone mold. It is pretty well painted though. It's got tan and brown for its main colors. I think they painted the whole thing tan, and then you can see a little bit of the a little bit showing through this brown. And then you got these white splotches on there as well. You got these little spikes here, almost like Batman, you know, how he has those things on his gauntlets. Also on the legs, you have these spikes sticking out, these serrations. It looks like a thorns or something from like a rose stalk or something. On the back, it also has spikes over here, spikes. It's a really spiky frog, it seems. It almost looks prehistoric with these spikes everywhere. Quite interesting. And then the nose area is like a proboscis, which also looks like there's a spike on it. And then the nostrils here have a little depth. So the body is pretty matte finished. It's not much of a square reflection, but the eye, it has a square reflection because that's the LED shape above us. It's quite glossy here. Even the little white highlight is here as well on this bisected eye. And it looks like it's on a big paint splotch, the eyeball. I think that's like the ear or something like that. So yeah, quite interesting. Look at this thing. It's a funky looking frog, but really thin. I mean, this is so crazy that it would mold that's so thin. So very delicate. Be very careful. So this round circle is a magnet, and then they have a backpack here. It says number 2, so maybe this is the second frog in the series. And so you can see there's not quite enough paint there. Hand painted, thrown around, scratched. There's a magnet there for this tiny little ball. That's a lot of and there's a magnet in the ball, or the egg. So, I guess, it's unfortunately this egg, it doesn't have the brown paint wash, so it kind of stands out from the other eggs that do have that brown paint wash. I guess it's nice that they did it, but I don't think it was necessary. Anywho, so that whole backpack goes on, and now it's carrying its babies in a backpack, which is really cool. So, very interesting. I don't think I mentioned, these rain frogs are from Africa, of all places. They burrow in the ground, and they puff up as a defense mechanism. If something's trying to pull it out of the burrow, it puffs up and locks itself in place. So 2 different continents entirely, and 2 different habitats entirely. So it's really cool that Frog Planet did these things, but boy, that's really, I don't know if I want to buy another one, because it might, in the back of my mind, I know that that's broken. I might have to buy another. So be careful, or there's really not your choice, but if it shows up broken, just be mindful that it might be broken upon arrival with all these resin animals that I've been reviewing, the dinosaurs and now frogs, and also lizards as well. Alright, well thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next frog video.